Okay.
We're good.
Okay. I feel like I'm hearing a little background noise. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Again, I hope everyone's staying safe in this weather, and I hope you're safe and well in this ongoing pandemic. I want to thank you all for being here today. Seems to me like we just held a town hall meeting, but time flies. I miss all of you. I know we all miss one another, and that's the reason why I think these and the many other virtual meetings, events, and activities that we're holding are so important. I'd like to begin with some really wonderful news. Some of you know this, but I suspect a lot of you don't. Late last week, we learned that the Association of Community College Trustees, HCCC, has chosen Professor of Humanities Laurie Riccadonna to receive the 2020 ACCT Outstanding Faculty Member Award for the Northeastern United States. This is an award to one faculty member in the Northeastern United States. Laurie will be honored at ACCT's national convention called the ACCT Leadership Congress in early October. This Congress will be held virtually, which means there's an opportunity for lots of our HCCC community members to participate in the celebration. As we all know, this very significant honor is exceptionally well-deserved. Laurie, thank you for all you do for our students and college. This acknowledgement of your teaching excellence is a point of pride for the entire college community, and couldn't be happier. So kudos and congratulations. Included in the agenda for the August 11th meeting of the Board of Trustees will be approval of the retirements of 3 long-serving and valued members of our faculty. Those are Professor of Chemistry Thomas C., Professor of English and ESL Chandridot Persaud, and Assistant Professor of English Timothy Peacock. Thomas, Chandridot, and Timothy, thank you for your years of exemplary service to our students and our college. We're all very happy for you, but we'll miss you greatly. Please remain in touch and involved in our college and with your HCCC family. Kudos to you. We wish you a long and wonderful, happy retirement. I also want to share that Director of Health-Related Programs Kathleen Smith-Wenning has been accepted by Project Hope for a 2-week intensive volunteer deployment in Bethesda, Maryland, where she'll be serving an African diaspora community suffering high rates of COVID-19 infection. As many of you are aware, Project Hope is a well-respected, world-class global relief organization. Kathleen and other volunteers will work in partnership with social workers to identify and conduct COVID-19-related outreach to vulnerable people, families, communities, and facilities, and coordinate medical referrals when necessary. Congratulations and thanks, Kathleen, for your inspirational leadership and your commitment to helping others, including all of us here at HCCC who have benefited from your leadership during this pandemic and beyond. And I also want to offer sincere, heartfelt thanks to Dorothy Anderson, Darrell Jones, Amala Ogburn, Iris Pujols, and other colleagues who organized and offered an inspirational tribute last week to the late Congressman, civil rights leader, and American hero, John Lewis. It was a very touching tribute and celebration of Congressman Lewis's life and legacy. And Dorothy, I particularly want to thank you for sharing your personal and truly inspirational life story, and all of the other speakers as well. It was really a wonderful, wonderful tribute to someone who changed our lives for the better. Today I'd like to focus on several things, and then we'll open the meeting for questions, comments, celebrations, and any other issues you'd like to discuss, as we always do. First, I'd like to discuss our continued planning for fall. Heather DeVries and Lisa Doherty will offer an update of the continuing work of the Return to Campus Task Force and beyond. And then I'd like to ask Executive Vice President and Provost Eric Friedman to discuss some changes he's recommending to the Board of Trustees in the Division of Academic Affairs. These proposed changes are a result of former Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs Chris Wall's resignation and departure from Hudson County Community College. Then I'd like to invite ATD Dream Team co-chairs, Dr. Sheila Dynan and Heather DeVries, to discuss our Student Success Action Plan that was completed last week and submitted to ATD following our first year as a new member of the ATD network of colleges. And finally, I'd like to invite President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion co-chairs, Iris Pujols and Lisa Williams, to discuss the continued outstanding work of many members of our community to promote our collective professional development and action around issues of racism and intolerance. And then we'll open the meeting to questions, comments, and discussion. And so to begin, I'd like to invite Lisa Doherty and Heather DeVries to share an update of the work and planning for fall. Lisa and Heather, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Reber. Hello, everyone. So to give you an update, I'm going to start off with some general updates regarding our soft openings, stages 2 and 3, and what that means for us, the launch of our FAQs, and then a few miscellaneous items. And then Heather will follow up with specific updates from our 5 working groups. So as you know, we submitted our plan on July 22nd. It is posted on the Return to Campus landing page. 14 days from the 22nd is when we are permitted to resume on-campus operations according to our plan, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, August 5th. Thank goodness it was not today, although I do think there are some staff on campus starting to pilot the thermal mirrors and such. Hopefully they are safe and dry. So we're considering this week, the 5th and 6th, our soft opening, where we will have primarily student affairs and enrollment staff on campus to prepare for to welcome students next week. So technically, anyone can begin working on campus tomorrow. We do ask for your patience as we are not prepared for the temperature screening at all building locations. So if you feel you must come to the campus tomorrow or Thursday, please come to Building A to have your screening done. But if you can wait until next week, that would really help us because we're going to be working out a lot of kinks tomorrow and really making sure we're prepared for students. That being said, Building A will open tomorrow, and North Hudson will follow on Thursday with temperature screening. And then other buildings will follow, and we will communicate that to you. So we're considering this, like I said, our soft opening. Our staff will be on campus to prepare the Student Center, which is where we are going to be servicing most of our students in terms of registration, advising, and financial aid by appointment. And North Hudson will also be preparing to serve students in the Enrollment Center and on the 2nd floor. So right now we are preparing a communication that will go out to new students at the end of today, inviting them to set an appointment to come on campus to either complete parts of the admissions process, to take their placement test, to meet with an advisor, or meet with financial aid. And of course, we'll service walk-ins as we are able. We're going to assess on a day-by-day basis to determine if the traffic is more than we want, less than we want, and we'll adjust our plans accordingly. Moving on to the stages, when Governor Murphy and OSHE put out their guidance for higher ed, they fully believed, as did we would be in stage 3 by the start of the fall semester. We do not know at this point if that's going to happen. So right now we are in stage 2, and our plan is fully able to be implemented in stage 2. The one slight difference is there are a couple of class sections, a handful of class sections, that will need to move remote if we are not in stage 3 by the start of the fall term. We're aware of what those sections are, and at the RTC task force meeting yesterday, we set a deadline of August 20th to make that decision. So if we are not in stage 3 by August 20th, we will move those classes to a remote format. These would be lecture-based classes only, so things like Intro to Business, I believe there's an Economics, Experiencing Arts, but all lab classes can continue on campus even in stage 2. The library also has is able to do a little bit more in stage 2 than originally thought. So the library, beginning August 12th, they will be beginning contactless book pickups for students, faculty, and staff at both locations. You can check the library website for details on how to access this and when the pickup hours are, and they will add other services gradually. Their remote services are extremely comprehensive, so please do encourage faculty, staff, and students to utilize those. We know that a lot of our students have a need for printing, and with the labs and libraries closed, they are not able to print. So thanks to Tricia and Jenny for coming up with a solution. Students will have the option to email documents to someone on campus who will print them, and then they can also do contactless pickup for the printed documents. More details will follow with instructions for that. So that's the general update on the move from stages 2 to 3. FAQs, by the end of today, I believe, we will have the FAQs posted on the Return to Campus landing page. I really want to thank Anna Krapitsky, Amala Ogburn, and the entire task force really who worked on that, and then of course Omar and Christopher for making it happen online. The FAQs are extremely comprehensive, so please do visit that site. We're going to send out a communication this afternoon with the link. They are divided into 6 categories: student-specific questions, general questions, campus life and support services, teaching and learning, life on campus, and health and safety. We are very confident you will find every question and answer there, but if you're still searching for something that you cannot find, please do email return@hccc.edu with your questions so that we can add to it, and it is certainly a work in progress. Miscellaneous items, I have 2. In terms of technology, students who do not have access to technology and need a Chromebook for the fall semester, they can fill out a coronavirus request form on the Return to Campus landing page. We'll also be recirculating that flyer again. So faculty and staff, please encourage students to put in the request. They'll be contacted by David Clark and his team in advance of the fall semester to pick up the Chromebooks at the food pantries. Staff and faculty who are in need of technology, please do not fill out a coronavirus concern form. We had everyone do that in the spring when we were moving remote, sort of in that emergency time period. Now, if you have a need for technology, please work directly with your supervisor and go through the normal process of acquiring technology. Finally, as you know, we had to turn off all of the water fountains on campus. We do have some bottle filling stations throughout campus, but we know it's important that faculty, staff, and students have access to water in all buildings, not just those that have the bottle filling stations. So Ilya and Jeff Roberson are in the process of acquiring water coolers for all of our buildings so that you will have access to water. And in the meantime, our food pantry, June Barrier, has stocked up our food pantries with additional cases of water. So students, faculty, and staff can access water there as well. So those are my general updates, and I will turn it over to Heather to give you updates on the various work groups.
Thank you, Lisa. Good afternoon, everyone. Even though we have submitted our restart plan and are looking forward to beginning our return to campus tomorrow, our working groups have definitely been keeping busy. I'll start off with health and safety. The health and screening questionnaire, step 1 in our 2-step screening process, is being finalized, and then once finalized is going to be integrated into a digital application. So students, faculty, and employees will be able to complete the questionnaire as early as 6 p.m. on the day prior to their visit to campus. And then this digital application will also integrate with the thermal mirrors. The thermal mirrors were ordered and have arrived. I do believe some installation and setup is occurring today, weather depending. We're hoping everyone is keeping safe. And they'll be installed first at 70 SIP and the first floor of North Hudson, and then installation will continue across campus, the Journal Square campus, throughout this week and next. As we get those up and running, as Lisa noted, screening, on-campus screening, temperature screening, and paper questionnaires, all of that will occur at 70 SIP on the Journal Square campus, A building, or on the first floor of the North Hudson campus. So we're routing everyone there before they go off to other buildings. Moving on to space and facilities, departments will be able to request cleaning supplies and personal protective equipment like masks directly from HCCC's facilities department as we plan for our return to campus. One individual within each department has been identified to submit requests for these supplies via School Dude, and they will be the individual who receives the supply delivery and then will be responsible for dispersing and reordering when the time comes. We are working on getting that list of designated individuals for each department up on the Return to Campus webpage for reference purposes. Academic Affairs has continued to work on and finalize the syllabus statement. A big thank you to Dr. Peter Cronrath and Dr. Sirhan Abdullah, who led a team in conjunction with All College Council Chair Lauren Drew to really develop and fine-tune that statement. And it's a statement that communicates collective responsibility for adherence to health and safety protocols, and their vision is that this will be included on all syllabi of on-ground course section. That statement will be shared as it is finalized. Human resources, all full-time employees at this time have received an email from Safe Colleges that includes a link to the requisite training. And other groups will receive the link or the email from Safe Colleges as Anna and her team receive that information. Human resources will also be conducting live training sessions with individual departments about protocols specific to HCCC, as well as 2 kind of more general sessions for staff, administrators, and employees, the first of which is on Monday, August 10th at 3 p.m. and Wednesday, and then there's another one Wednesday, August 12th at 10 a.m. So look for an email related to that. And then finally, Campus Life and Student Support Services. Just to reiterate that starting Wednesday, August 12th, the library will begin offering contactless book pickup services for HCCC students, faculty, and staff at both libraries. And more information is available on the library's website. And then finally, again, to reiterate, students in need of support services like financial aid, bursar, testing, and registration will be able to access these services on ground by making an appointment, but all student support services will continue to be offered remotely. So we do want to encourage students to use those as much as possible. That concludes our RTC remarks, and I will turn it back over to Dr. Reber. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa and Heather, and everybody that's been involved. Obviously, this is a huge body of work, and it couldn't get done if it weren't for contributions across the college. Let me just reiterate a couple things. I know that there are going to be questions about returning to campus, and we'll get through the agenda so we can fully answer, entertain questions and comments. Just to remind everyone, our plan involves 85% or approximately 85% of our instruction being offered online and remotely. And I think we can be proud of the fact that we have been able to plan for significantly exceeding Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines and other health agencies' guidelines for safety. And you will see, if you come back to campus, lots of evidence of that. At the same time, we've been able to ensure that students have the opportunity to study remotely, online, and or on ground as needed so that they can maintain academic progress, so that our international students also can take on-ground courses. And we're proud of the fact that we've been able to plan for allowing all employees the opportunity to decide whether they will work on campus or not. For many employees, it's moot. They don't need to be on campus because of the nature of their work or what they're teaching. For those that could be supporting planned on-ground activities, we're not asking anyone to come back if they feel uncomfortable, if they feel they're in a high-risk category, if they need to take care of family or child care needs or what have you. So we have to date been able to staff those things that we are attempting to do on ground to keep to support students without having to require anyone to be on ground who is not comfortable. I think I feel really proud of the combination of all of those efforts. And so we will open it for questions in a moment. Let's move on so we can open it. As we discussed at the last town hall meeting, Chris Wall resigned his position as Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs earlier this summer, and he's now departed Hudson County Community College. As we all know, Chris contributed so much in his service to HCCC, and we all wish him well. We've chosen not to fill the Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs position, and moreover, We've collapsed the position and removed it from our staffing table. This is the right thing to do, partly due to our current financial challenges related to the pandemic and our hiring freeze. It also provides us an opportunity to promote several of our colleagues who will assume expanded responsibilities from the former portfolio of the Assistant Vice President. I want to thank Dr. Friedman for his leadership in determining how best to redistribute the AVP responsibilities in consultation with all affected staff and others. I also thank Vice President for HR, Anna Krapitsky. And now I'd like to ask Eric to please explain the changes that we're recommending to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'd like to provide information for everyone about the redistribution of Chris Wall's responsibilities. In this brief summary, I'll address reporting structure changes, if there are changes for a particular responsibility, as well as the key responsibilities that several team members are taking on. I'll also send out a communication via email after the upcoming board meeting. I want to make sure people get this information because so many of us have been so used to, for a long time, turning to Chris Wall for some very specific needs across the college. So just to briefly read what's being drafted for the Personnel Committee of the Board. In the wake of the resignation of Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs Christopher Wall, we have chosen not to replace the position and are recommending that the position be collapsed and removed from the staffing table. By eliminating the position, the college will realize a significant net savings, which will help us with our financial challenge during COVID, and will be reorganizing certain responsibilities. So we're looking at providing a small number of team members with growth and development opportunities as they assume additional leadership responsibilities and expanded administrative roles through this redistribution. So here's what this looks like. And Chris had a very large and varied portfolio, so it's a little complex, but I've simplified it. So the first person impacted is Dr. Christopher Konzen, the Executive Director of the Secaucus Center. Chris Konzen is now going to report directly to me, the Executive VP and Provost, and importantly, his expanded responsibilities including supervising the early college team, which used to be known as LEAP and the Office of High School Relations, while continuing to oversee operations for the Secaucus Center. Early college requires a student success-focused leader with strong recruitment and partnership skills. It is an essential area of fiscal sustainability for the college. So our recommendation to the board is to add "and early college programs" to Chris's title with a salary adjustment. So it'll be Executive Director, Secaucus Center, and early college programs. Very happy that Chris is very excited to take this on and has already been working with me on several key aspects. Heather DeVries. Heather DeVries will now report directly to me, the Executive VP and Provost, and the recommendation is a title change from Assistant to Associate Dean with a salary adjustment based on the following expanded responsibilities. Continued representation of the academic division as a leader for college-wide success initiatives, such as Achieving the Dream. Chairing or co-chairing emergency and special task forces, such as the Return to Campus Task Force, which you just heard the summary report from. And the support of Dr. Darrell Jones, the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, as he assumes leadership for the Dean's Council. Additionally, support the Executive VP and Provost in the drafting, development, and review of agreements and curricular mappings for university partnerships, including 2+2 and 3+1 agreements, dual admission agreements, and memoranda of understanding. Also, assume a primary role, as Chris Wall did so many times, in the development of grant and funding applications, working collaboratively with the grants office. And I just lost my power, but the laptop is still on, and I'm working in the dark. Yeah, this is unusual. Additionally, support the Executive VP and Provost in accreditation-related matters, such as the drafting of substantive change applications and narrative statements for annual institutional updates. And we happen to be right in the middle of one of those right now. And responsibility for the academic portions of the expanding relationship with Year Up New York, New Jersey. So we are grateful to Heather, who has considered this and has agreed, and pending board approval. Additional responsibilities for Juris Pujols, currently the executive director of the North Hudson campus. No title change there, no reporting change. The expanded responsibilities include centralizing supervision for college-wide academic space issues. And this is a very time-consuming set of responsibilities that speaks to office assignments, office usage, multi-purpose rooms, space conversions, labs, classroom, furniture issues, and other under space issues. Also, we're going to be asking yours to have centralized supervision for academic technology issues and technology concerns across HCCC campuses. Yours has dug in deeply with the ITV initiatives and is comfortable with leading academic technology issues, working with IT and others. Additionally, Juris is going to work with me on creating and maintaining university partnerships, and we are recommending a salary adjustment for Juris. The fourth person is Dr. Pamela Bondio Pattier, Associate Dean, Academic Development and Support Services. Dr. B, as we call her, will now report to Dr. Darrell Jones, the Associate VP for Academic Affairs. Her expanded responsibilities include satisfactory academic progress concerns for all SAP students, including expansion of the important Student Success Academy. Oversight for the Honors College, which will also include international initiatives and internationalization of the curriculum. Development and oversight of a new refresher academy for self-placed students, COVID, and hopefully beyond. Support of Dr. Jones in the review and revision of the tenure handbook and associated tenure processes, and continued oversight for Academic Foundations Mathematics, with special focus now since it is an Achieving the Dream area of priority. We are recommending a salary adjustment for Dr. B. The next person is Jennifer Rodriguez, the coordinator of early college programs. The reporting change is that she will report directly to Dr. Christopher Conzen, who will now be the executive director, Secaucus Center and Early College Programs. Her expanded responsibilities include shared oversight with Dr. Conzen of all operational aspects of early college programs, shared supervision and performance reviews for the student success coach and administrative assistant for early college, and the transition of all cafeteria-style partner agreements to comprehensive 4-year guided pathways agreements through multiple districts. So we're recommending that title change from Coordinator LEAP programs to Coordinator Early College Programs, which should have been accomplished already, and a salary adjustment. Responsibilities that Dr. Darrell Jones will be taking on include leadership for the Dean's Council, leadership for the Joint Student Affairs and Academic Affairs Situation Room, oversight now for the Associate Dean, Pamela Bondio Pattier, and her Division of Academic Development and Support Services, and Dr. Jones will be leading oversight for tenure promotion and sabbatical processes. Additionally, on the table is a change of title for a position that's been called Program Assistant in the Office of School and College Relations. We're proposing to change that title from Program Assistant to Student Success Coach, Early College Programs, That's part of a model that has been working really well at the Secaucus Center and reflects the college's strategic focus on student success. The position is currently being searched. It's vacant. So that's a summary, and I'm open to any questions.
Eric, thank you so much, and we thank and congratulate our staff colleagues who've agreed to step up to expanded responsibilities. I want to emphasize that I ask that this redistribution of responsibilities be limited to the redistribution of Chris's responsibilities. In other words, we're not getting ahead of the process that we remain committed to involving our work with Evergreen to update all job titles and benchmark our position ranges and salaries and address other issues involving internal equity and making progress in all areas of our position descriptions. That work, this is purely these are changes that we've needed to make in the short term, but we did not want to in any way upstage that more comprehensive work, which will commence as we approach a new normal. Okay, and keep it moving so we can have time for questions and comments. Last week, Achieving the Dream co-chairs Dr. Sheila Dynan and Heather DeVries submitted to HCCC our action plan for the college's student success work going forward. This really represents a milestone accomplishment in our student success agenda and journey, and the culmination of comprehensive college-wide engagement during our first year as a member of the Achieving the Dream network of high-performing community colleges. I've asked Heather and Sheila to briefly discuss the plan as just the beginning of continued college-wide engagement. Thank you, Sheila and Heather.
Thank you, Dr. Reber. This is Heather. I'm going to start off with just some high-level overview of the process, and then I'll turn it over to Sheila, and she will dive into some of the more specifics of the action plan. The DREAM team has been meeting virtually twice a month since mid-April, and we've really been devoting all of our focus to the development of the Student Success Action Plan. So it does represent quite a milestone in our work. Sheila and I are deeply appreciative of the time and energy of all DREAM team members. We really have a great team in place that represents the multitude of roles and functional areas from across the college, and these individuals really bring a range of expertise to the discussion, and as a result we have just very, very rich, complex discussions about student success and our students in particular. Throughout the process, Sheila and I engaged our ATD leadership and data coaches, Dr. Mary Fifield and Dr. Renee Garcia, respectively, twice, and they really served as sounding boards for our ideas as we moved through this work. They also provided some helpful guiding questions that really framed our ongoing conversations with the DREAM team and moved our work forward. Overall, the action plan allows us both to look back on the work we have done over the past year and the data we have explored, and then develop priorities and strategies to increase and promote student success at HCCC based on what we've learned. And this implementation will occur in the next 2 or 3 years, and then likely, hopefully, well beyond that as well. The final point I'll emphasize is that the action plan is a living document and will involve with our student success work. It really provides an initial roadmap that will guide and inform our work, again, in the next 2 or 3 years. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Sheila, who will provide some details about the action plan itself. Sheila?
Thank you, Heather. I will give you an overview of what we have submitted to ATD. The action plan has 2 priorities specifically, and then in each priority we have strategies. Heather and I have spoken to some people, and you may have heard us say it's the what's and the hows. The what is the priority and the how is the strategy. Basically, how are we going to accomplish the priorities? I am not going to go into depth on this. I will give you a broad overview, but the DREAM team is meeting tomorrow, and we are showing them what we submitted, and then after we have submitted it to all of them, it will be submitted to the greater community. All right? So the first priority, and let me preface all of this with the fact that the priorities and the strategies have been built on all of the input that everybody in the community has given us. And we have come up with very specific ones, but broad enough to encompass the needs of the students. So priority 1 is increase fall-to-fall persistence for first-time, full-time students from 58% to 64% by June of 2024. Now, to get to that, the strategies in this particular area will be looking at, first strategy will be for ESL students, and the second one will look at the Academic Foundations English and Academic Foundations Math. And these two will be addressing equity gaps by optimizing ESL and Academic Foundations by minimizing attrition to set students on a path towards their academic goals and programs. Priority 2 is looking at student needs in a very different way, and priority 2 is create a culture of caring that supports students in persisting, and this is fall to fall, from 61% to 67% by June of 2024. In priority 2, there are actually 4 strategies. And the strategies we'll be looking at, first one is leveraging the role of our student leaders. The second one is removing barriers that prevent students from persisting. The third is expanding services provided by Hudson Helps. And the fourth one is engaging students with academic supports. And that is the nutshell of what has been submitted. I am sure people will have many, many questions, but as it folds out throughout the community, I think it will be very clear exactly what we are doing. And we would take any of your questions once it has been put out to people. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather and Sheila. Let me just also note that this work, in addition to encapsulating the college-wide processes all year, the ICAT survey, the open fora, et cetera, it also is built upon data. And Executive Director of Institutional Research, John Scanlon, has provided wonderful leadership to really begin to focus on data that can inform the work and also disaggregate the data so we can see where there may be gaps by different subgroups. And so you'll see data in the plan. And I also want to say it dovetails beautifully with the academic master planning process that has involved a whole cross-section of faculty and staff and the work of Pattier and others. So it's beautifully integrated, I think, with efforts across the college. This is really an exciting and exceedingly important time. We're grateful for the leadership of all members of our dream team and all who have participated college-wide. So finally, before we open it to discussion, I'd like to briefly touch upon the college's engagement and commitment to addressing continued racism and intolerance in our society. I'm so inspired daily by the outstanding programs, activities, conversations, and engagement that are happening throughout our college community. I thank President's Advisory Council for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion co-chairs Elisa Williams and Eurus Pujols, and all members of PAC-DAY for their engaged and inspirational work. So I've asked Eurus and Elisa to provide a brief update for us, and then we will open this. Elisa and Eurus.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Reber, and hello to everyone that is listening to this town hall. So I'm Elisa Williams, co-chair for PAC-DAY, and joined with Eurus Pujols, the other co-chair, who you'll be hearing from in just a few seconds. As you stated, Dr. Reber, to mitigate and combat racism and intolerance to social justice, several of the things we do are listening to, learning from, and interacting with each other as a way to ward off any types of not getting to know each other. So first, I'd like to share that we have been meeting each month. We have monthly meetings except for the month of July. Our next meeting is coming up Thursday, and at this meeting we will go over the various initiatives and programs that I hope you all have been able to participate in, all of them or some of them. At the meeting, each of our subcommittee members and subcommittee co-chairs will share with us their work and initiatives around those 3 key PAC Day goals. Those items will ultimately become part of our 3-year strategic framework that we are putting together and will be shared college-wide. Next, I'd like to update everyone and let you know that HCC's PAC Day is the site of an experiential learning course for the New Jersey City University Community College's Leadership Program. This opportunity is helping to put the work of all of us here at HCCC's efforts of DE&I on a national stage, and we will keep you informed of that program as it progresses. Again, we thank all of you for your efforts and suggestions and supports. And lastly, I just want to let you know that in telling our stories, that's a way that we get to learn from each other, learn about each other, and a way to interact with each other. And we had a program that we launched on the 16th of July called Our Stories Untold, and that is in collaboration with PAC Day and Resources. And during that time, we heard from Dr. David Clark, an amazing story. But we know that everyone has a story, and we hope that you will step up and tell yours. And finally, I would just like to share that we've gotten a lot of positive feedback about that particular event, and I want to read to you one person's response because I think it really speaks, to the heart of what we're trying to do. This person said, "It let me feel like I have a voice at HCCC. It made me eager to get to know more about my colleagues. There are so many inspirational stories hidden within our community. I love we are allowing our coworkers and students to get to know the stories that make us who we are and inspire them in their own journey." So again, I just wanted to share that with everyone. Now I'll turn it over to yours to give some more updates.
Do we have yours? Have we lost yours?
Okay. Yes, I know there are some power challenges going around. Yours, are you here? Okay, so what yours wanted to do was to let you know that there are many events that are happening that allow you to come and give your voice, give your comments, interact with your fellow colleagues and the college community. And so please look for those flyers. You will see them being circulated from our office or sometimes from communications. What's coming up next? Is that yours back?
Hi, good afternoon, Lilisa. My apologies. I was disconnected for a little bit. Some of the
glad to have you back.
Go right ahead, yours.
Thank you so much, Lilisa. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Lilisa, for the work that you're doing. And I also want to thank Dr. Reber for continuing to provide this forum for all of us. And I want to say good afternoon to everyone else. Before I start with my remarks, I just wanted to recognize all the partners that are out there in the college community making all of these incredible programs possible. I mean, Dr. Reber mentioned some of them, but I do have to mention Anna Kopitsky, Amala Adber, Natalia Basket-Watkins, Kyle Willie, and Eric Adamson. And that's only a small list of everyone who is working behind the scenes to making these programs available to all of us. I'm also happy to share that all the assessment and all the surveys that we're sending out to the community after the programs, most of the feedback, and 100%, close to 100% of the feedback that we're getting is all positive. We're getting words like inclusion, sense of belonging, sense of community, and at the end of the day, that's incredible. Some of the programs that we had, for example, we had an Allyship Panel on July 23rd, and I just selected one of the comments that was provided at the in the survey, and one of the respondents added, "I was profoundly touched by the participants' willingness to disclose so much about their families and felt connected to many of the examples shared. There were so many other positive comments, but of course, we couldn't share everything in this platform. It was a wonderful memorial for the life of the civil rights icon, John Lewis. And again, Dr. River mentioned this, but I also want to thank my favorite professor, and I'm sure she's everybody's favorite professor, Dr. Dorothy Anderson, for being the driving force behind the program. Her passion, her voice, and her commitment to student success was obvious. And again, all the feedback that we got from it was really positive. We're talking about inspiration, inclusion, and so on. One of the comments that was included out of that program was, I am so happy that this nation recognized the importance of John Lewis' legacy and work at the level that we have. I like the different perspectives and discussions about the Congressman Lewis. He did not initially gather the accolades or recognition that was focused on Martin Luther King Jr., but Representative Lewis led an extraordinary life, and I am so pleased that his work has so fittingly been celebrated since his untimely death. And, I think all of us agree with that. And I want to announce that tomorrow at noon, we have another incredible event. It's going to be a candid discussion about colorism. You are all welcome to attend. Same, different will be scheduled on August 12th. And I just wanted to pull a call out there. I want to call our students. I know that we have a lot of students on the call. These programs are designed for everybody, including you. We would like for you to call in, to get involved, share with us, and we want to hear your voices. We want to hear your voices. And I also want to add to something that Elisa said earlier about our stories program. If you want to share your story, let us know. And we have a nice little pool of people already. If you know of someone who you're really interested in that you want to hear from, let us know. And also overall programs, like these programs that are there, someone thought about them. And if you have an idea, that something that you want to make a recommendation, let us know. Or if there's a program that you want to lead, we'll be happy to partner with you to make it happen. With that, I thank you for your time. I hope everyone stays safe during the storm. And Dr. River, I pass it back to you.
Thank you so much, Juris and Lisa. Greatly appreciate all you do for the college. So that was a lot of information, but all important, I hope you'll agree. And we now can open the meeting to your comments, questions, perspectives, and our collective discussion. And if we need the time and you're able to stay with us, I think we can go for at least 30 to 40 more minutes. So we want to make sure we have time to address whatever you'd like to talk about. So Lisa, Juris, Heather, Sheila, and members of the cabinet join me as facilitators for the conversation. Please press 10 if you'd like to speak. Hardik is facilitating as always. We thank you, Hardik.
This conference is now in question and answer mode. To alert the speaker that you have a question, press 1, then 0.
Hello?
Hello, everyone. This is Professor Gallo. Can everybody hear me?
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Dr. Reber. This is a question for Dr. Friedman in his list of responsibilities that have been divided amongst the fellow administrators. I don't know if I caught, who's in charge of articulation agreements now?
Hi, Joe. High school articulation and early college is Dr. Christopher Conzen. And Juris is going to be working with me directly and Daryl on university relations. Were you asking about one piece or the other, or just both?
Well, just one that was ongoing that had been moved, one that I had been working on that sort of seems to have fallen through the cracks. So I want to pick it back up again and just wanted to make sure I was directing it to the right person.
Sure. It's Eurus is going to assist me with that, and so if you forward that to Eurus and myself, and we'll pull in Dr. Jones as needed.
Okay. All right, that's my question. I hope everyone is well.
Thank
you, Joe. Take care.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? Or celebratory notes? Hardik, can you tell us how many folks are on the line?
We have 155.
Okay. I'm sure there are more out there. We're working with an updated AT&T system, and we may not know how many are in queue, but we welcome your questions.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Wiggins. It's nice to get on the phone with some of you that have only have dealt with via email and on paper. I'm so excited to have been on this call. I have been to some of the PACDI events, which were awesome and inspiring. I just want to say that in some of the work, the what, which is the priority, and the how HCCC will accomplish some of those 3-year goals. And I'm very nervous, guys. I want to say that leveraging, I heard us that leveraging the role of student leaders was one of them. And I just want to piggyback on that as, you know, the PACDI group being so vulnerable, disclosing their testimonies and stories, and also Dr. D. Anderson. I just want to say that it's inspiring. Unfortunately, the pandemic, the racial injustices, and the deaths of a lot of these great leaders have really inspired change in all of us and have been the catalyst of greater excellence within the school. Me being a student, I'm a very untraditional student. I'm 49 years old, attempting the nursing program. I only came here to go to school. And within this pandemic, I want to say that I live in one of the most challenging neighborhoods in our city. I live right where the corner of all the shootings in the Jewish market happened. So much drugs, so much violence, so much darkness. But I want to say, within these challenges, I only came here to go to school. And what I found was strength. What I found was leadership. What I found was possibility. So what I did with that was I've been able to resurrect my block association within this week of time, from summer 1 to summer 2. With those 2 weeks we had a break, I resurrected the block association here. I knocked door to door with one other person. We knocked door to door with little makeshift flyers and inspired these people to come out, and I'm going to be really, really quick. And they came out, and long story short, we have 35-plus members on a band app, and we communicate. We have a block cleanup this weekend. We have an I Occupy. We have a fundraising committee. We have so many things going on within this community, all from just me being a student. I want to say at Hudson County Community College, and all the downside things that have happened have birthed this new drive in me. And I just want to thank all of you guys for showing me what real leadership looks like, coming together and merging really looks like. I've been so very inspired to inspire other people. It's almost contagious. It's happening, what we can do even in the midst of darkness. So with that one, we're leveraging the role of student leaders. I believe these testimonies, I believe people being an example of what success looks like, word of mouth, is also going to be one of those things that get us accomplished what we want to do in 3 years. And by the way, at Hudson County Community College, I also joined the SGA. I would never have done that, but I applied for student government. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but I'm so excited. I'm really a home person, very introverted. I would never be doing any of what I'm doing. I want to thank you guys, give somebody else a chance on this call, but you are really making a difference. You are really inspiring I'm sure every staff member. Nobody could be the same after this, and I just want to thank you all. And you're encouraging me, and I hope to be encouraging somebody else. Thank you so much. Jeanette Wiggin.
Jeanette, thank you. That was so powerful and beautiful. Thank you. You had nothing to be nervous about. That was inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for what you're doing. And we are so happy to have you in our HCCC family.
Thank you. Same here.
Jeanette, this is Sheila Dynan. I am inspired by you, and I would love to continue this conversation with you because I will be the person that is working with the student leadership component of the house. And if you would send me an email, I would love to continue this conversation with you.
Sure.
Okay, and that's Dynan. So you'll see it. I'm the Associate Dean of Student Success.
Thank you.
Jeanette, thank you.
Thank you.
Made my week. Thanks so much.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jeanette. That was very powerful and you're very inspiring. And thank you so much for being a part of the HCCC family.
Absolutely.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you? This is Dr. Lamb.
Hi, Jerry.
Good. So I just wanted to, congratulate and thank everyone, the administration and faculty, for all their contributions during this difficult time. And Dr. Reeder, your leadership has been absolutely critical. I mean, your communication, your transparency, these meetings have just really been superior. So you're certainly
Jerry, I think we lost
a long time to come. Oh, you can't hear me? Hello?
We lost you for a moment.
What happened?
We lost you for just the last 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
But you're back.
Okay. No, I just wanted to thank, administration for all they've done, their transparency. These meetings are really critical to give insight. And, your leadership is really critical during this time. You're clearly the right person at the right time. And, I'm just ecstatic that you're here. And hopefully you'll be here long term because, this is the type of leadership we need in order to grow. So I'm really appreciative of that. And, of course,
Jerry, thank you so much for those kind words. We so appreciate your leadership. And, wow, your leadership in an important area going forward, not that it hasn't always been important, but we're tremendously fortunate that you are part of the family, and I appreciate your comments.
Yeah, definitely. So just a quick update. I'm part of the advisory board, representing the college, Hudson Community College, the Criminal Justice Department down in Jersey City, working on police reform. And so, we have meetings twice, sometimes 3 times a month, and we're just focusing on implementing policies that will focus on police use of force. And other organizations. It's about 12 of us that meet, and so hopefully we'll have some policies in place that will help improve community and policing relationships. But just wanted to point out that we have a student, Lewis, and myself there that are representing the college, and so we'll be providing more information as it goes. But I'm really excited about what we're working on, and hopefully there's a couple of more ideas on the table that the college can be more involved in with City Council and with Jersey City Police Department to get all right, thank you. Can you hear me? Is that it?
No, we can now, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how much support. Yeah.
Just lost that last piece again.
Oh, I said myself, and I have a student that attends these, biweekly, every other month, well, not every other month, twice a week meetings that represent the college and the criminal justice department. So hopefully we'll have some policies, that were in this advisory committee. So hopefully we have some policies that will help forge a better relationship between the Jersey City Police Department and the community that we serve as a community college.
That's phenomenal. Thank you for that's such a critical leadership role and that you're undertaking, and certainly our college community, I know, will appreciate becoming involved and trying to make a positive difference. Thank you for you're inspirational, Dr. Lamb. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Other questions or comments?
Hi, Chris, and everybody listening. This is Michael Furlese.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. I want to give out a few thanks here and then a couple of points I'd like to raise. I want to also thank Dorothy and Daryl the other day. Dorothy knows how much I appreciate her voice and participation. I want to give a special thanks to Daryl, for having an academic officer contributing to intellectual academic kind of event like that, such a worthy event with John Lewis, and it really moves us in the right direction. I know Eric has participated an awful lot in those kinds of things, so it was really nice to see another voice and to have Daryl there. I want to thank our faculty and administrators who seem to be working around the clock through the summer. It doesn't make for much of a summer for any of them, but there's been so much work being done on all ends. I really appreciate my faculty and the administrative work. I want to give praise to the fact that the college has been so responsive in putting all these online discussions out there. I'm hoping also that the All College Council can resume its meetings, and this way we can have more college-wide open kind of discussions that's maybe a little more centrally located. I think, it's hard to keep track of everything coming out in so many directions. And I miss not having the forum at the Old College Council to discuss these issues as a kind of a central location. I want to mention maybe three things that I'm kind of referencing here as discussions that should be at an Old College Council. And there are some questions involved. So in terms of supplies and cleaning, I understand that Maverick will be doing that. I think that's good. My question is, and maybe it's been answered already, I don't know, are they certified in specialized cleaning protocols and things like that? I think it's fine for faculty and students to have cleaning supplies. I don't think anybody wants that to supplant having a kind of a certified group that is doing that kind of cleaning. That's one question. And the other question is about the diversity syllabus and the statement. And my question is the intention to have that mandatory, or how does the college see that going forward in terms of syllabi? The faculty have had some discussion about this already, and I think there are some important issues there that need deliberation and discussion. And the very last point is for the issue about removing barriers for ESL and foundations. I think that needs to be a larger discussion with the whole college, because it just doesn't affect ESL and foundations area. Anybody who comes out of there, or whatever changes that take place within ESL and foundations, affects basically the entire rest of the academic program, certainly in social science and humanities and other courses. Even with those issues being data-driven, I think the inclusion of faculty experiences and their understanding and their needs can also be considered data that needs to be looked at. Anyway, those are my points, and I'd appreciate any responses to it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's start with the last one, if we could. I couldn't agree more with you, Michael. In fact, 95% of our new students begin in one or more either ESL or Foundations courses. So it's virtually all of our students. Eric, can you comment, maybe start with any comments you might have?
Sure. This is closely aligned what we heard, the summary coming out of ATD, the ATD work. This is very closely aligned to the inclusive process with the academic master plan and the recognition of goals related to transformation of ESL and DevEd programs. I can't imagine any practice or major decision regarding, current practices, future policies and practices that would be developed and sent to the ESL faculty. I mean, all of this is being done with multiple representatives from, academic divisions. So if the worry is that something's going to be developed in one area of the college, it's going to be sort of sent over to another area where faculty experts are, working with students every day to overcome barriers, and, they're going to be sent some type of thing that they didn't have, major voice in crafting the change. That's just not, anything like I've seen in the academic master plan process or the ATD process. I think we had over 150 participants in some of the academic master planning sessions. I'm just not remembering the rest of that particular question about representation.
Can you hear me, Eric?
Yes.
Okay. If I can just, my concern is that given the, COVID-19 kind of restriction on us being able to, meet and discuss in our normal way, I'm hoping that the All-College Council can kind of start to meet again, because these issues that you're talking about now, I mean, when we deliberate, we kind of think together. And I know for me, I might have some preconceived notions I'm not even aware of. And then when we're speaking and I hear people from the administration, people from ESL, and other faculty speaking or administrators speaking, you start to form a more holistic understanding of it. And I know the college has been very mindful in contacting me with issues as a union president. I know contacting Lauren Drew. But Eric, as you know, we've talked a few times about the need for having a larger forum for that input. And that's kind of that's the main point I'm trying to make there.
Okay. Is Lauren on the call, Lauren Drew? Is she able to speak
I don't know. She's not sitting next to me, I'll tell you that.
Speak to the resumption of the ACC meetings? I know that I don't have the timeline in front of me, but I know that's definitely planned.
I know. Are you talking about the general meeting for ACC?
Yeah.
No, I mean when we have the general body where anybody at the college can go there.
Right. The next one is going to happen on August the 26th. It's scheduled for August the 26th at College Service Day at 3 o'clock. That much I know for now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Michael, this is Daryl. Can you hear me?
Yes, Daryl. Hi.
Yes. So, Michael, thank you very much for your kind words and also your continued support of all that we do to move the needle with student success. Let me respond to the statement or your question or comment regarding the syllabus statement that, in fact, was faculty designed, faculty-driven, had great buy-in from Lauren Drew with All College Council, and as Heather mentioned previously, both Peter Conrad and Sirhan Abdullah led the charge. The expectation is that it serves as a very important constant reminder to our students about the high need to be safe, the high need to adhere to best practices as it relates to the return to campus with social distancing, no eating in the classroom, cleaning the workstations, etc., how we move in the building, how we leave the building. And the expectation from my perspective was that it would appear on each and every syllabus, and it would be discussed during the first or initial class sessions. I don't know if Peter is on, don't know if Sirhan is on, but my understanding was that it would be on each and every syllabus.
But Michael was asking about the diversity statement, right? Michael?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
He was asking about the diversity statement.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
That was response to the return to campus statement.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. As far as I know, the group hasn't been finalized yet, how that will, or when that will happen, or how it will happen. We're in discussion. Go ahead.
You can disagree with me. My expectation would be that is voluntary. That's not, that would be up to each faculty member, correct? If there's a diversity statement we would like them to include on the syllabus, that becomes their decision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
When there's a draft, I don't think that there's a draft ready to digest yet. That would go straight to the PA, before that gets stamped with anything like the finalization stamp.
Yeah.
But I have to believe it would be whatever we would agree on would be a recommendation.
Sure.
Only, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the PA. I mean, we have to see what's there, but I'm pretty sure the PA would wholeheartedly, support it. I mean, it certainly should be voluntary. I just want to mention one thing that some of us have spoken about in terms of that. There is a very famous Harold Bloom kind of discussion about the American canon, and he quite famously, made the statement that the American canon basically was all white authors. And as much as I dislike that and personally disagree with it, think it's wrong, I think we had a discussion the other day among a number of faculty that we still need to make space for people who we disagree with, and I'm sure you don't disagree with that, even if we don't like what they're talking about. But I don't think a diversity statement has to block that stuff out. I think it should encourage without having to tell people what they, shouldn't do or things like that. There's a vast diversity of discussion about what should be taught, how it should be taught, and the school should certainly encourage greater diversity, for sure.
I couldn't agree more with that. Is there anyone that can answer the cleaning, specialized cleaning protocol certification question? I don't know if we have Ilya on the line.
He's on, but I don't think he can just speak unless he's a host. Okay. He isn't aware of such a certification, so I guess we'd have to do some more investigating. Michael, is there a specific title of the certification you're looking for?
Well, I was at a meeting with the NJEA, and they were talking about how I guess at some of the schools that they've had certification for cleaning. I think it's state certification, but I can certainly find out and be happy to send that information along.
That would be great.
And he can follow up directly with Maverick.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. Other questions or comments?
I'd just like to say I appreciated Michael's comment about
Hi, Kathy Smith-Wenning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I think I have some answers. Okay, on the last question, the telephone service is going in and out, and I have no power. Yeah. But cleaning, we are using all EPA-certified products to clean. Now, in terms of a certification for the people who are cleaning, I don't know. That would be up to Maverick. But we're following all CDC protocols with cleaning. We're going above and beyond. So students and faculty are not expected to do cleaning, but we will have products there because many of us know that we're responsible for our space and we would like to clean in and clean out. But it's not mandatory. Okay, that's in terms of cleaning. All College Council, we are in the process. I know tomorrow I'm meeting with Lauren and Angie to set up our schedule for the fall. So that is in progress, and we hope to go full full bore like we used to. The only thing is we will be on Zoom. So get ready. That schedule is, it might even be set. I just can't remember. There's many dates. I think that's it. I think those are the two answers I have for you. Okay?
Thank you, Kathleen. That's helpful. And Eric, I think you were going to speak.
I was just acknowledging Michael's comment about how changes that are made in ESL then carry forward with a student as they go into their introduction to sociology classes and other classes where there are writing expectations, etc. So it was a nice part of the conversation to start to think about. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Hardik, how many folks do we have on the line, if I may ask?
We have 132.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I might just mention for everyone, we have closed the campus, the physical campus, so those folks that were on ground today, we do have a few. We have asked to go home so that they are safe. Any others? We'll give it one more moment here. Okay, well, listen, everyone. Thank you so much, each and every one of you.
Good afternoon. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get through, but because the power went out for a moment, I didn't have the internet. Hi, my name is Gerardo Leal, and I am another non-traditional student of age 49. I wanted to thank Janet, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, because her story reminds me that although COVID-19, it is terrifying, it has also given us the opportunity to come together and maybe reflect on the important things in life. That sometimes when our life seems to be perfect, we may have taken for granted. Pain and suffering is always being around. There have been countries in the middle of war for years. Puerto Rico went through a hurricane, and some of us were indifferent because we were not affected by it. I don't mean to offend anybody, but this is sometimes what goes in my head. My immediate family, we have become, thank God, united and tried to stay motivated because sometimes we do feel trapped. And it's kind of, how do I keep up with my life? How do I keep my dream? I finished the second semester of HCCC, but in order to get my psychology degree, I need 3 more years. And sometimes I wonder, do I have enough time? Am I going to make it out of this crisis? And that's when I am very grateful to be part of the community. Because at HCCC, I had met amazing people that they knew that I was on financial aid. And instead of looking at me like a charity case, they offered me more help. So I am forever grateful because today is Tuesday, and if I make it to Wednesday, I'll be happy. I'm not planning my future as much as trying to live my present and try to be present in the people that I love. I hope this makes sense because sometimes it's hard to get my ideas on writing or express them, but I'm working on it. So thank you so much to everyone because it's a rainy day, but I feel like it's pouring blessings on me today by hearing all these stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It absolutely makes sense. And we are here as your partner, and we're going to make sure you finish that program. And thank you for expressing those thoughts.
I would like to say hi. I hope somebody from the EOF program is listening. I'm so grateful to them, and I was supposed to participate in the peer leadership program. That never happened, but hey, if there is anything that I can do for the college, I will be so happy to join. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Other comments or questions? Okay, so again, I want to say thank you all so much for everything you're doing. Please stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you soon. All the best to everybody. Thank you.